What's up, guys? No, it's been a while. Back for another episode of Drunk Guy Diaries. I'm gonna try something a little different this time. It's not really a story, but kind of what I'm gonna call some of my dad's most badass moments, or some of them. Just ones I can think of real fast on top of my head. Um, One of them is called On His Own. Then Walk Home Drive Shaft. Stuck in the Mud. Kill Deer, Eat It. Jeep 360, and Lake Dirt Road. So we'll get on his own. I just have to say that I don't know any more responsible, hard-working person I don't think I've ever met. I know when I was a kid, he went like, I don't know how many years, maybe 10. Perfect attendance at Shaw. Everything he's accomplished, he's done it on his own. I can remember one time he asked for help from his stepdad, and he almost got cussed into the ground and made it out on his own. He still has the same house that I lived in when I grew up when I was born. I don't know. Like I said, he's doing 10 times better now than, when I was a kid. He's done it all himself. I don't know if I respect anybody more than him. So, on to the good stuff. Walk home drive shaft. We was coming back from the lake one time in the Jeep, towing the boat. And we get it, if anybody knows where Ramhurst is, where you do a little left and right, turn down the golf course road. And as soon as we made that second turn, me and D's in the back, Mom, Dad's in the front, and I hear, bam, ba 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 ba. If anybody's broke a drive shaft knows what that is. It breaks off and it's still spinning, slapping the bottom of your vehicle. And so Dad gets out, and we're probably, at least 5 miles. Probably maybe more like 8 miles from home. And Dad walked the entire trip back to the house, gets the tools in the car, comes back, takes the rear drive shaft out, puts the Jeep in 4-wheel drive, and pulls the boat home with the front axle. I always thought that was pretty smart thinking, pretty ingenious. But man, he made it so daggone fast. He probably wasn't, to go 8 miles, he probably wasn't 2-3 hours, and he was back in the car. He said he ran most of the way. I just remember that story. It being I was probably 7 or 8 year old kid, and then all of a sudden you hear something break. We was in the back seat, so the drive shaft was actually slamming the Jeep right up under our feet. We could feel it hitting. It was nuts. Stuck in the mud. Me and my sister was probably, I'm just guessing at these ages, really, maybe 8 and 11. Maybe it was more like 6 and 9. But I remember, for whatever reason, Dee was older. She usually rode in the front, but I was in the front seat and Dee was in the back. And we're going down this trail. Dad used to go mudding in that Jeep. We're going down this one trail, and all of a sudden the whole Jeep just wham, we're in a mud hole. All you can see is water. And then all of a sudden it drops off, and we're the Jeep is almost laying on its side. And I could literally reach out the window and touch the ground right there. We was up against it. Dad goes down a gear, drives right up out of it, and then we get a little bit further, and we're going down this hill, and there's a mud hole that you wouldn't think a 2-wheel drive wouldn't drive through. But as soon as we drove in it, we just sank. And then Dad puts it in first gear, just flooring. We're barely moving inches every 10 seconds. And then he puts it in reverse. Man, I swear, we was stuck in this hole for probably 2 or 3 minutes. Just, Dad's flooring it. Back and forth, back and forth. Me and my sister, we was so little, we was like squalling, thinking that we was gonna be there forever. And Dad's just like determined, man. Putting out, man, he would give it everything it got until the Jeep started moving and stop, put it in reverse. Give it everything it got until it stopped moving, put it back in gear. Give it everything it stopped. I mean, we done this. I mean, it may have been more like 5 minutes. We sat there back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally get out of it. We go back down there and look. Man, he dug trenches probably 30 feet long, probably 2 foot deep, gigantic. It was 12-inch wide tires. Oh man, it was huge. I'd give anything to have a picture of that mud hole. Kill a deer and eat it. This is a story. I don't know why it always stuck into me. Oh, I know the neighbor was horrified. Dad killed a deer, come home, and me and him's out there skinning it in the front yard, hanging from a tree in the front yard. As he's skinning it and everything, he cuts a big chunk off of it and puts it in a pan and shoves it in the oven. We go out there and finish skinning the rest of the deer. And then after we're all done, Dad goes in and eats the, meat that was cooking in the oven. And I was just sitting there thinking, that's so gross. That is so gross. After the meat's in the freezer, and then you pull it out, stick it in the oven, I ain't no big deal. But when you're out there slicing the thing into pieces, and you got blood all over your hands, and you cut a chunk off, go throw it on a flat pan, stick it in the oven, that's hardcore right there. I mean, that's survivalist. Well, I don't know. I don't think I could have done it. Jeep 360. I may have told this story. To make it short, me and him, Mom D's, riding down the road, the dump road over here in Murray County. Middle of the night, like 2 a.m. The headlights go out on the Jeep, and if you slam the brakes in that Jeep, it's just like my Ranger. Something's wrong with the calipers, whatever. You slam the brakes, and that thing's going to go wherever the hell it wants to go. All I can remember is lights going out, Dad slams the brakes, and it feels like the Jeep is doing this. Which we may have just been doing this right here, but I mean, it felt like it was doing this forever. Jeep finally stops. Get out, Dad fixed the headlights, and we're facing the wrong direction. But you look, and there's like 6-8 foot ditches on each side of the road. If he hadn't kept that thing in the lanes, that'd have been bad. I'm sure none of us had seatbelts on, because that's back in the early 90s. So I guarantee you none of us had seatbelts. I don't even know if there was seatbelts in the back seat of that Jeep. Honestly, I don't think there was. Because I can't ever remember seeing any. There may have been. I don't know. Pretty badass, though. Lake Dirt Road. So, I'm probably around 10, 11, 12. And Dad's Jeep, same Jeep. He had those jacked up, and they're 32, 33, 50s, I think. At one point, he had 35s, I think, and then he dropped it back down. Man, it's still been 35s. But anyway, when you get those bigger tires, that makes your speedometer not read the same. It would make it read like you was going a lot slower than what you're actually going. And I can just remember the entire time I've ever rode in that Jeep, it went 0 to 85. Well, Dad never got it up past straight up, which was 45. But 45 was hanging with everybody going down the road doing 55 or 60. And so we're going down 411 coming back from the lake. Didn't have the boat attached. So we're coming back down 411. And I'm arguing. Dad's talking about how much power the Jeep's got and everything. Keep in mind it's a 3-speed. And 4-wheel drive, 3-speed. And he's like, man, this thing will do every bit of what the speedometer says. And I'm like, there ain't no way this Jeep is going to go everything on the speedometer, because we're already running 55, 60 at 45. And he's like, oh, it'll do it, it'll do it, it'll do it. He puts it to the floor. I'll be damned. He buries that needle to 85. So we had to be running 110, 120 in a jacked up 4-wheel drive Jeep down, which is a straight road down 411. Flying. And guess who comes over the hill? Mr. Georgia State Patrol. As soon as before we even got to him, he already flipped his blue lights on and was slamming the brakes. But there was cars like pulling out of side roads as we was coming by, so the cop couldn't turn around in time. And Dad bolts, as soon as we got over the hill where the cop couldn't see us, Dad bolts down this dirt road that cuts in between 411 to old 411. And we are flying. And man, if anybody's rode an old 74 Jeep CJ5, they're not a smooth ride, especially jacked up. I mean, they will beat you to death. We're flying down this dirt road so fast, the whole time I look behind me, all you can see is dust. I mean, we're sideways around these turns, just flooring it all the way down that, get to the end, haul ass out to where it comes back into 411, and drive on home. Get home, my mom was in a car way behind us since Dad floored it, and she was like, that cop with the blue lights on have anything to do with y'all? I can't remember what Dad said, but I remember mom asking that. And also we had one of my young cousins in the back seat. She was just like, I can't remember her ever saying anything, but I know she was scared shitless. I was excited. I was like, this is the coolest shit ever, because I always tried to get my dad to sling it sideways or spin the tires or nothing. And then here we was, Dukes Hazzard in a freaking Jeep, getting it. I was like, yeah! Yeah, it was fun. To end it off, I'm going to throw one dad dumb story in there. So Dad's out there working on his boat, which I actually had this boat now. I just thought about that. So anyways, Dad's out there working on the boat. I don't remember if he was putting seats in or something. That wasn't seats, but we hadn't had that boat long. He was going to drill a hole through the bottom of the boat to mount something, and because he thought the boat was like a layer of a boat, hollow, and then another layer. Nope. When he drilled through the bottom, he pulled the drill out and he could see the ground. He was like, oh shit. So yeah, why I said I didn't think about it is now I have the boat that has a fiberglass filled hole in the bottom of it. Actually, I ain't even sure if it's fiberglass or whether he just caulked and filled it with a piece of metal or something. He probably don't even remember. Anyways, I thought it's been long enough. I started not even doing any more videos because I didn't get a whole bigger response, but I have fun doing them. I think most people that watch them like them. So, if you do like it, leave a comment. If you don't like it, leave a comment. If you do like it, subscribe. Let me know. I'll do some more. Give me some ideas. I'm running out. If you drink, be safe. Be responsible.